The Middle East is a strategically located region, rich in natural resources, and with significant historical and cultural weight. These elements attract the attention of major powers who seek to protect their interests and influence the fate of the region. In this video, we will examine the key actors involved in this power game, their objectives, and the consequences for the Middle East and beyond. Geopolitics of the Middle East. The geopolitics of the Middle East is strongly influenced by its strategic importance due to its privileged geographical location. The region is located between three continents, Asia, Africa, and Europe, and is crossed by vital trade routes such as the Suez Canal, the Strait of Hormuz, and the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait. This makes the Middle East a convergence point for economic and political interests of various global powers. One of the main reasons for the geopolitical importance of the Middle East is the abundance of natural resources, particularly oil and natural gas. The region holds some of the world's largest oil reserves, making it a vital source of energy for global economic growth. The ownership and control of these resources have significant implications for the international energy market, as well as for the energy security of countries. Economic interests. Major powers such as the United States, China, Russia, and the European Union have significant economic interests in the Middle East. These interests include secure access to energy resources, opening up markets for exports, seeking investment opportunities, and promoting advantageous trade agreements. Many of these powers establish diplomatic relations, cooperation agreements, and infrastructure investments to secure their strategic position and economic benefits in the region. Economic interests in the Middle East are also intertwined with political and security issues, such as regional conflicts, the fight against terrorism, and political stability. The competition among global powers for control and influence in the region can generate rivalries, strategic alliances, and complex geopolitical disputes. Regional conflicts. The Middle East is a region marked by a series of conflicts and tensions that have significant impact both within the region and on the global stage. One of the most prominent conflicts is the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, a territorial and political dispute between Israel and the Palestinians that has its historical and ethnic roots. The issue involves disputes over territories, rights, and self-determination, and has generated instability and violence in the region. Another large-scale conflict is the war in Syria, which began in 2011 as part of the Arab Spring and evolved into a complex conflict involving multiple national and international actors. The conflict in Syria has caused a tremendous number of casualties and displaced persons, as well as regional and global implications, including the rise of extremist groups and the involvement of foreign powers. Additionally, the Middle East is characterized by rivalries and tensions among Arab countries, such as territorial disputes between Saudi Arabia and Iran, conflicts in Yemen and Iraq, as well as sectarian tensions between Sunnis and Shiites. These historical and religious rivalries have contributed to the instability and fragmentation of the region. Power and influence struggle. Major powers have played a significant role in the struggle for power and influence in the Middle East. They seek to protect their geopolitical, economic, and security interests and employ various strategies to achieve these objectives. One strategy is to establish alliances with countries in the region. Global powers often support political regimes that are considered favorable to their interests, providing financial, military, and diplomatic support. This dynamic can generate controversies and lead to accusations of interference in the internal affairs of Middle Eastern countries. Furthermore, major powers utilize soft power, the ability to influence through cultural, educational, and ideological means. They promote their values and ideologies in the region through media, educational institutions, and financial aid programs. This cultural and ideological influence aims to shape the perception and policies of Middle Eastern countries according to the interests of global powers. Diplomacy also plays a crucial role in the quest for power and influence in the Middle East. Major powers use diplomacy to negotiate agreements, mediate conflicts, and establish bilateral relations with countries in the region. These negotiations and agreements often reflect the interests of global powers and can have long-term implications for the stability and geopolitical dynamics of the Middle East. In summary, power dynamics in the Middle East have far-reaching global implications. Geopolitical stability, oil prices, energy security, the fight against terrorism, international relations, and the balance of power are key areas that are influenced by the actions of major powers in this region. Therefore, understanding and tracking these implications are essential to comprehending contemporary global dynamics.